Hey there, welcome to My Green Pets. I'm William Green. Happy to show you my grocery store Phalaenopsis that I suspect is related to, or maybe even it is, Sogo Yukidian. Full bloom, we got 12 flowers. Well, I'm not super pleased with the way that they ended up coming out in terms of arrangement. They're kind of piled up on top of each other, but anyway, pretty impressive, and I am happy with the way that the spike did cascade down. I kind of trained it to do that, and that stick is really bending. But yeah, it's nice. So let's jump in the tent and see what else is going on. Some pretty exciting things today. Also, at the end of the video, I'm going to be showing you an orchid that I would love to give away. There's two of them, and I just asked that you pay $15 for me to pack it up and ship it priority mail in the US. So let's have a look. Looks like Cattleya Rex is still going, although it looks like it might be showing signs of fading. We might get a few more blooms out of another Cattleya Rex, my awarded clone Mayu over here in the corner. It does have some sheaths. There might be something in those little sheaths. We won't hold our breaths until we see something a little bit more definitive pushing out. So we'll see. But man, we've got some exciting stuff happening over here. Look at the Cycnoches forest. Look how tall everything's gotten. I mean, remember a few months ago when they were just little sticks in pots? Now this whole side of the tent has been completely taken over, and we've got 3 in spike so far that I've found. First of all, we've got Cycnoches Fire Embers showing us 2 spikes, and it looks like they're kind of hard to count, but it looks like there's going to be 10 on the closer one and 9 on the further one. So if we get 19 flowers, I think I had 8 on it last year. That's a huge improvement, and the fact that they're both developing out at the same time is so exciting. I'm really hoping to enter this plant in the Denver Orchid Society Fall Show on the weekend of September 14th and 15th. So you can make it out to Nick's Garden Center in Aurora. Maybe you'll be able to check out this plant. Hopefully it'll have a ribbon or 2 on it. That'd be great. All right, let's move over to wow, check it out. Cycnoches cooperi with no less than 22 buds on it. I had to put it in a pot and put another pot inside of this one to lift it up so that the flowers didn't hit the whatever that's called, fencing, grating. I can't think of words right now, but really excited to see this bloom. 22, so that is an improvement of 7 flowers on last year, and then it's an improvement of 13 flowers on the first year. So really going in the right direction with this guy. Can't wait to see it all in bloom. And unfortunately, it'll be bloomed and done by the time that fall show happens. But it's so encouraging. I mean, look, this bulb isn't really even that big, and look what it's able to put out. And I was checking the AOS awards, and there are plants out there that can put 50 flowers on 1 spike, and the plant can put 2 spikes out, so 100 flowers on 1 plant. So imagine this thing more than double the length and number of flowers. So that's what we're hoping for one of these days. Very proud and excited to see what this looks like when it finally opens up, and I'll try my hardest. You know, every year that this has bloomed, I've taken the plant out to photograph it and just set it down a little too hard. The pot is always a little heavier than I expect because it's got some rocks in the bottom of it. And I just kind of bang it down on the table a little bit too hard, and pop! Several of the flowers pop their pollen, and that's it. The next day they start to fade. So frustrating. I'm going to really try not to do that this year. Another plant I noticed last week was in bud, or spike at least, is, look at this, Bulbophyllum Medusae. This is the Miami clone that came from Fantasy Orchids a couple years ago. My plant sitter gifted it to me for Christmas. Wow, what a present. And we got 2 spikes pushing. This was really beautiful last year, and it's blooming just about a month later than it did last year. But super excited to have that in bloom soon. The other medusae, I haven't looked too closely, but I haven't seen any buds on that one. It typically blooms later in the year. Alright, next to it we've got Masdevallia Machu Picchu with a new spike. This guy looks like it's going to be starting to open up by next weekend. And watching those leaves for signs of weirdness. It did drop a couple earlier in the month. And been trying to keep it moist but not wet. And also add just a little bit of fertilizer, just a tiny bit of fish emulsion. Unfortunately, I didn't really measure it. I just put a few drops in there. Hopefully that's going to be okay for it. Of course, Hal, Bulbophyllum Echinolabium, had these 2 spikes for a few months now. He's got a new bud pushing there. Now this one, I don't know. This one looks like it might be done. I don't see a whole lot of other action coming out of there. That's interesting. The color of Hal's leaves does concern me a little bit. They're very yellow, I think. Maybe yellower than I'm used to. Usually they're kind of a sea green color, but anyway, I'm just kind of watching this plant. We'll see. It's got good root growth, and I think it's okay. We'll see. Hal's been with me for almost 10 years, so definitely have to keep an eye on him, make sure he's doing all right. Back here you can see Bulbophyllum Catenulatum. This is my tiniest little bulbo. And it's been repotted several times in the past year, so it's kind of having to start from the beginning again. So you can see there's lots of little leaves that are pushing up, but they're very small. And that's typically what happens when this plant gets repotted, is that the new growth is smaller and it needs a couple growths to come out of the trauma of being repotted and produce the normal sized bulbs again and think about blooming. So excited about these Cattleya. I'm telling you, these Cycnoches. I mean, just look how they're competing for space. They are absolutely taking over. All these poor plants down here are like, we'd like to get some sun too. Let's see, we can. Again, I kind of look every day for a spike here or there, but right now I've found 3. Alright, what else? We've got lots of Cattleya growth happening, new growths on several plants. Cattleya Purea pushing a new growth here. Maybe not big enough to bloom, but getting there. Cattleya King George, look at its newest leaf. It's enormous compared to the previous ones. That's a great sign. We might even get a sheath on the next growth. Hybrid vigor for the win. Cattleya maxima also has a sheath there. Maybe bloom in a couple months. New growth on Cattleya Perara. This is a Carnea by Concolor, so the flowers should be kind of pink with pink lips. Again, I think this is still too young to bloom. Probably needs 2 or 3 more leaves on it before it can bloom, but it's getting there. And then the largest of the Peruflora Rex seedlings that I got in 2021 is this guy. And I'm going to have to start thinking of clonal names for these guys, but it looks like this one's just got really nice thick leaves and has just grown really well. So probably in need of a repot, but as you can see, there's no space. I just can't believe it. In the spring I sold like 20 plants and now I have no space. Quick look at the carnivorous plants. I want to show you my Bulbophyllum morinensis has been earning its place in the tent quite well. Got lots of fungus gnats stuck to those big beautiful leaves. As has Bulbophyllum silosecta or cyclosecta. Look at that. They really are attracted to those beautiful pink Bulbophyllums. Of course, the ones that I've already got also doing a pretty good job. One more little Catasetum type. This is Cloecia. It's a hybrid between Thylaciochyla and Rusliana. And this little bulb looks like it's coming along pretty well. So, gonna be a few years before we ever get any flowers on it, but interesting to grow these guys from seedling size. And I think that's just about it. Let me show you this plant that I got. Well, let me tell you a little bit. So yesterday, up in Fort Collins, there was just a get-together. Our orchid societies in Boulder and Fort Collins and outside of Denver, they don't really get together regularly anymore. There's just not enough people to do it. So one of the members invited us all over to his house, and he's got a greenhouse in the backyard, and we had refreshments, we had show and tell, and we had kind of an informal AOS type meeting. And he made sure everybody left with a plant. And you know how I am about people giving me plants. I don't want plants. I don't want people giving me plants. And if somebody wants to give me something, it would be nice if they asked, do you want this? Well, there was no asking. It's like, this is for you, and this is for you, and this is for you. Is that all you're taking? Do you want one of these? You want a piece of this? Okay, so, I mean, if you want to up the number of plants in your collection, it's a great group to get involved with. So let me show you what I came home with yesterday, and we'll go from there. All right, here it is. Now I have two divisions. I have this one, I have a smaller division. It's in bloom. I'm not going to try to say the name. Well, yes, I am. It's like Cicschweinfia, and it's a Costa Rican orchid. These came from Andy's Orchids. You can find them on his website. And it says online, it says it's a cool to warm grower, ideal for orchidariums, terrariums. This is as big as it gets. It almost looks like a little Cattleya. Reaches specimen size pretty quickly. It's got new growth pushing on it. You're supposed to keep it moist at all times, and bright, bright-ish light. So maybe Cattleya light or a little less. And it's a cute little thing. I just don't want it. So if you would like this plant, I am going to send it to you. All you need to do is send me an email, mygreenpets.contact@gmail.com, and I'll arrange for you to send me $15 to pack it up and send it to you priority mail, and it's yours. It's got some roots on it. So yeah, it could be nice. Here, let me show you the other division. Okay, here's the second division. You can see it's got 3 buds on it. Now, no promise that those buds will actually push all the way out and bloom, because the plant has been divided. But I also wanted to mention that I did virus test this plant yesterday, and the virus test came out negative for Cymbidium mosaic as well as Odontoglossum ring spot. So, there's that as well. But yeah, I mean, I can see they're very desirable little things. I've got enough plants. So let me know. mygreenpets.contact@gmail.com. All right, we'll finish. I'll just show you some quick photos and video from the get-together yesterday. I just love how these guys are growing on the tree. I love their roots.
Well, a year from now, that other tree will be all filled up. Maybe not quite as many roots, but they grow pretty prolifically.
I have a few things mounted in my tent. This guy's super excited. You got a whole tree to cover in orchids. What a wonderful opportunity. I would love to have that. That's going to be it for this week. So I hope everything's growing well for you. I hope that if there's anything that is kind of holding you back or stopping you from doing something that you want to do, no matter what it is, I want to send you some energy and a little bit of a push to see if you can overcome that and take a step, even a tiny step, toward that thing that you would like to do. If you're waiting for a sign, here it is. And that's it. Have a great week, and I'll see you next time right here on My Green Pets. I'm William Green. See ya.